telling us a little bit about your background. What type of food did you grow up eating?
Well, my background is, I'm half Indian, half Pakistani. So, our background in diet usually came a lot from, our home cooked foods, like, a lot of curries, a lot of bread, a lot of rice. And, a lot of those foods contain a good amount of oil, a bunch of meat and stuff. So, it was good home cooking, but it wasn't the healthiest.
Okay, so do you feel like the foods that you grew up eating, they had to do anything with your weight gain?
Yeah, it did. I mean, it was a big reason why that and lack of exercise too. It helped.
Okay, so did your family, were they any health conscious or nutrition?
My mom wasn't that health conscious, but my dad was. He would be. You know how parents say eat your vegetables and all that. And, when you're growing up as a kid, you're gonna be like, oh, I don't want vegetables. I don't need vegetables. I wasn't really much into vegetables back then when I was growing up. Then again, what kid wasn't?
Okay. And did you always struggle with your weight as a child or teenager?
Yes, I did. Growing up through middle school, high school, I was always overweight ever since I could walk, basically. I was just constantly eating. So, yeah.
And what was the biggest, the highest weight, the most that you've had?
My highest weight was about 271 pounds.
271 pounds. And how old were you at the time?
When I reached that weight, I was around 22 years old.
22 years old. Okay. And now you are 26 years old, that's correct.
Yes.
Okay. And how do you feel that your weight affected your health? I mean, did you have any health issues, any high blood pressure, high
I mean,
cholesterol?
no, not really, because every time when I would go to the hospital, not really the hospital, my doctor's office to get my blood work taken, everything was normal. The only thing that was high was, my lipid count. Other than that, I didn't have any high blood pressure or any of that stuff at the time, so I guess I was pretty lucky.
Okay. And
But,
do any of your family or do they have any background in like any high cholesterol or heart symptoms?
no, I mean, there wasn't any heart symptoms or anything like that. Some high blood pressure,
High cholesterol.
but high cholesterol, not that I know of, but mostly it was just high blood pressure.
And many studies they suggest that several people gain weight after a traumatic event or during a difficult time in their life. So do you feel that this is to be true in your case?
Yeah, it was a huge case in my life. My dad was sick. He was diagnosed with Alzheimer's about 10 years ago, and he had a traumatic event which landed him in the hospital for about 2 weeks. And so that really put stress on me. And to get rid of that stress and to escape it for a little while, I would eat.
Okay.
And I ate a lot, so it really triggered my weight gain all the way up to 271.
271. So before that weight gain, what was your initial weight?
My initial weight, I mean, before all that weight gain was, I would say maybe, I was still heavy at the time, but it really got ballooned up quite worse. So I would say about 230.
Okay, so
Or
about
so.
40, 50 pounds. So,
Yeah.
okay. So what triggered you to take a charge of your weight? What made you take control?
Well, what happened was I was taking a shower one day and I was just coming out, drying myself off, and I just saw myself in the mirror and I was just looking at myself like, what am I doing with myself? I'm this big, and I weighed myself 271 and I just said, I'm 22 years old, I'm destroying my youth, I'm 271 pounds. Is this really what I want to do with myself? I'm young, I'm not supposed to be like this. It's not healthy. So I just finally had enough.
Okay. So how did you lose the weight? What changes did you make in your diet? How much did you exercise?
Well, as far as dieting is concerned, before I used to eat a lot of fried foods. Anything that was deep fried and stuff was my all-time friend. So anything fried from junk food to like fried chicken or like French fries, burgers, and all that, that was like my ultimate friend right there. So what I did was to change that, I had to get rid of I had to completely eliminate all of that. So what I did was I started off by having a lot of baked chicken, a bunch of salad, lean like lean meats like chicken and fish, along with salad, a lot of vegetables. I drank a lot of water, and that was basically the main staple
Okay.
when it came to diet. Yes.
And exercise-wise, how often?
Exercise-wise, I exercised 5 days a week,
5 days a week.
Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday I rested.
Was there a certain time span?
It depends on when I was free, because I had to juggle school. So usually around the evenings, around 5, 6 o'clock, I would go for a couple of hours every day.
And what was the most difficult part about, losing weight?
I mean, the most difficult part I would say is probably the first couple of days. I would say not being able to eat not even being able to eat the normal food you would usually eat. So usually the first week or so it was tough, but then as I got into the groove, I started getting used to it very quickly.
And was there a point where you wanted to give in? Was there a certain celebration, let's say, a certain food that tempted you so much that you felt like you were going to just give up?
There was a lot of temptations out there in terms of parties, being with friends, because whenever I used to hang out with my friends, we always would go out and eat. So I had to break that temptation and like not go to any of those parties and not see my friends for like 8 months.
Oh, so it took a strain on your social life as well.
It took a little bit because when it's like I said, whenever you're with your friends, all we do is get together, eat and talk. So yeah.
So what are you doing to maintain the weight off?
To maintain the weight off, right now what I'm doing is I am doing weight training, which is like I'm trying to bulk up on muscle. And I used to do a lot of cardio when I did my weight loss. So I've cut back on that and increased in weight training, and that's usually probably about the same burn, but when it comes to weight training, you burn more calories.
So you said you were at 278?
I was around 271.
271. What is your total weight loss now?
My total weight loss altogether was 101 pounds. And what happened was at 170, that's when I was like, okay, I'll start from there. I reached a perfect weight and all that. And then what I did was to increase weight, I'm trying to increase it in muscle. That's what I did.
Okay. And what advice would you give to anyone who is trying to lose weight or someone who is having a difficult time with, dedication in the process?
I would say, it's mostly like, nothing's handed to you easily. I would say, work hard and not think about it, because the more you think about stuff of like, oh, I have to go, I have to do my cardio, I have to start running, I have to start eating, that is something to think about, but I wouldn't think about it too much. I would rather say just best thing is not to think about it. I didn't think about it a lot. I just knew that, okay, I have to go to the gym, exercise, come back home, and that's it, and eat right. Because the more you think about it, the more stress it's going to come to you, and you won't want to do it.
And has your life changed after all this weight loss?
My life has changed dramatically. I mean, as far as health-wise, like, I feel great. I'm sleeping a lot better. I'm more happy. I'm still the same old me, but it's just, I sleep a lot, like I said, sleeping a lot better. I can wear good clothes now. I can actually go out and socialize with people, go out to parties, social events at my school and whatnot back then before I graduated. So it helped a lot.
Anything else that you want to add?
Anything else I would say, just whoever wants to lose the weight, you just got to put in the good hard work. And, I was that type of person that just literally sat there every day on watching TV on a couch, with a big bag of chips. All I gotta say is just, if I can do it, a lot of people can do it. You just have to find the will to do it.
Thank you, Omar.
Thank you.